Hello everyone. The purpose of today's video is to go through all the possible LED colors and patterns on a Plugzio Outlet device and what they mean. Towards the end of the video, I will show some scenarios where these LED colors and patterns will come into play. If your Plugzio Outlet is powered on, the LED light will always be on. The LED light is used to indicate that the outlet is alive and functional. To do this, the LED will never remain a solid color for long and will always turn off and on in patterns. Plugzio's LED pattern can be divided into two types, blinking and breathing. The first pattern, blinking, is where the LED turns on and off. The second LED pattern is breathing. This is where the outlet slowly fades or pulses on and off, as you can see in the video. A blinking pattern indicates activity and that the outlet is actively doing something. Blinking colors on the outlet are blinking green, which means that the outlet is searching for or trying to connect to the internet. This state is typically seen only on new Plugzio outlets which have yet to be registered. This state is generally used to see if new outlets are working or if the outlets are able to connect to the internet at its installed location. Blinking rainbow indicates that the outlet is being used by a user. In this state, the outlet is constantly monitoring power consumption as well as sending information to the cloud. Blinking orange, this means that the outlet is talking to the cloud or waiting or processing a web response. This is typically seen when the user attempts to end the session by our app or unplugs from the outlet. Blinking magenta, this indicates that a software or firmware update is happening on the outlet. During this process, we encourage both users and owners not to use the outlet and to wait until the firmware update is done. The outlet will probably be not responsive as it is trying to load or flash on the new firmware and will automatically reboot when it's done. Blinking red. This means that there is an error. Try resetting the outlet either by cutting power to the outlet or by pressing the square reset button above the LED. You will need a pointy tool in order to press the LED button as it is recessed into the outlet's cover. If the error still persists after a reboot or is frequently seen, please contact Plugzio support. The second LED pattern is breathing. This is where the outlet slowly fades or pulses on and off, as you can see in the video. Breathing colors typically indicate steady state and that the outlet is idle. Breathing colors of the outlet are breathing cyan or light blue. This is when the outlet is idle and can be used by users. If the outlet is set to always on, the outlet will always breathe cyan regardless of the connectivity state, as it can always be used. If the outlet is set to smart mode, the outlet will only breathe cyan or light blue after it has connected to the internet, since internet connection is needed to start a session or to control the outlet. Breathing red. This means that the outlet is idle and cannot be used by users. If the outlet is set to smart mode and does not have an internet connection or is still searching for a connection, the outlet will breathe red as it cannot be used. If the outlet is set to always off, it will always breathe red as it can never be used in this state. Breathing dark blue. This means that the outlet is being connected to by a Bluetooth peripheral. This is typically seen when a manager uses a phone or laptop to connect to the outlet in order to configure Wi-Fi settings. Now I will show some scenarios that you will commonly see and their LED colors and patterns. The first scenario I will show is booting up a new outlet. New outlets are in a special default mode. The default mode, functionality-wise, is equivalent to always on, and the outlet's relay will turn on so you can just plug in like a regular outlet. This default mode will allow you to see the connection status of the outlet. The LED will start blinking green and then go cyan once the outlet has obtained an internet connection. Note, for Wi-Fi outlets, you will either need to hotspot the default credentials or connect by Bluetooth and configure your outlet's Wi-Fi connection. The second scenario is booting up an outlet in smart mode. When booting up, the outlet will start breathing red immediately while there is no connection. This indicates that the outlet is still trying to find connection and cannot be used. When connection is obtained, the outlet will automatically start breathing cyan or light blue. This indicates that the outlet is idle and ready to be used by users. The third scenario is getting a firmware update. The outlet will automatically start blinking magenta for a short period of time. This indicates that a new firmware is being downloaded and applied. During this state, the outlet will not be responsive to any manager or user commands. We strongly advise not to disturb this process by rebooting or cutting power to the outlet. Once this process is complete, the outlet will then automatically reboot. Once the outlet has rebooted, watch this LED and wait for its LED to go back into a breathing pattern. As mentioned earlier, breathing pattern typically indicates that the outlet is idle. The last scenario I would like to show is starting a session and stopping a session. Make sure the outlet is configured to smart mode and breathing cyan. This indicates that the outlet is idle and ready to be used by a user. When a session is activated and a load is plugged in, the outlet will start blinking yellow briefly to show that it has received the start command, and then followed by blinking rainbow. This indicates that the session has started and the outlet is actively monitoring power consumption and sending information to the cloud. When the user is done with the session, the user will probably unplug or terminate the session from the app. The outlet will then start blinking yellow. This indicates that the outlet is attempting to end the session and is sending information to the web or waiting for a confirmation. The outlet will then go back to breathing cyan, indicating that the outlet is idle and ready to be used by the next user. Thank you for watching, and I hope now you understand what the LED colors and patterns on a Plugzio outlet means. I will see you again in the next video.